You've been lied to if you think that reading a book cover to cover is learning. It's not. It's just a socially acceptable way to waste time. Most expert books are 20 pages of gold and 280 pages of anecdotes, fluff, and filler designed to make the author feel better about charging you 20 bucks. If you spend 2 weeks grinding through one of these, you aren't learning. You're just a guy being robbed of his time. And look, I'm not talking about speed reading, which is just a fancy way to say you're forgetting things at 400 words per minute. This is Syntopic Aggression. It's the God mode of learning, where you read multiple books on the same topic, ignoring the personal biases or stories of the authors, and focusing on the consistent truths found in all the sources. You read faster by ignoring the 80% of the books that is just filler. You get better retention because you aren't memorizing a single opinion, you're recognizing a pattern validated by multiple sources. And here's how it works. Let's say you want to learn how to lock in a new habit. Usually, you'd grab a popular book like Atomic Habits, spend 2 weeks grinding through it, and probably forget half of it by next month. Instead, we're taking the 3 biggest books on the subject, Atomic Habits, The Power of Habit, and Tiny Habits, and we're treating them like one single database. Phase 1, the scan. Most people feel guilty if they don't start at page 1 and read every word. That's a trap. We're going straight to the table of contents, and here's the crucial part. We're looking for the keywords that appear in every single book. In our 3 habit books, you'll find that those keywords are cues, rewards, and environment. If a chapter is titled The Power of Small Wins and spends 15 pages on the story of how BJ Fogg taught people to floss one single tooth, skip it. Yes, Steve and his one clean tooth are legendary, but you already get the point. Start small. You don't need the next 10 pages of Steve's flossing journey. Mark the pages that actually explain how a cue works and ignore the rest. Do the same for rewards and environment. You've turned a massive pile of homework into a small handful of pages that actually matter. But finding the pages is the easy part. The real trick is knowing how to read them without getting confused. Phase 2, the cross-check. Instead of reading the books one at a time, you're going to read them at the exact same time. Pick one keyword, let's say environment, and read what all 3 authors have to say about it. Then follow up with the other keywords. These sections alone will explain the mechanics of starting and setting new habits. Ignore the other chapters. So, James Clear says if you want to practice guitar, put it in the middle of the living room so you literally trip over it. BJ Fogg says if you want to floss, keep it on the counter right next to your toothbrush so you can't ignore it. Charles Duhigg explains the brain science. Your brain is lazy, so it just follows whatever signal is easiest to see. When you see the same truth explained 3 different ways by 3 different experts, it clicks. If 2 authors say one thing and the 3rd author says the opposite, you've just found the fluff. Toss it out. You only keep the stuff that survives the debate. When you see the same truth from 3 different angles, it clicks because the experts start finishing each other's sentences. You realize they aren't talking about guitars or floss. They're talking about reducing friction. You're reading at lightning speed because you've just filtered out the nonsense. Now you have the facts. But how do you make sure they never leave your brain? You lock them in using the one-page map. This is where we stop collecting information and start building a tool you can actually use. Most people take notes that look like a transcript of the book. They end up with 20 pages of notes that they'll never look at again. We're going to do the opposite. Take a single sheet of paper. Your goal is to fill it only with the overlaps. Once you've scanned and cross-checked all 3 habit books, the noise falls away, and you're left with the universal truths that they all agree on. In our example, all 3 books point towards a habit system built directly from the keywords we scanned for. This is what your map looks like. The cue. Every book agrees you need a specific start signal, like an alarm or a coffee pot. The environment. They all confirm your room or your surroundings must make that cue impossible to miss, like putting gym shoes on your phone. The action. They all say that the task must be so small it's embarrassing to skip, like doing just one push-up or reading just one paragraph. The reward. They all agree that your brain requires a prize the second you finish to make the habit stick, like a chocolate or some other small indulgence. By only writing down the points where the experts agree, you create a master map for the subject. You get better retention because you've condensed 900 pages of noise into 1 page of condensed truth. You aren't trying to remember 3 different books anymore. You're just remembering the one map that actually works. Try this small exercise the next weekend. Friday night, pick your topic and grab the 3 or 4 expert books on the subject. Don't overthink this. Just grab the 3 highest rated ones on Amazon or at your library. Saturday, run the scan and the cross-check. In 3 hours, you'll process more than most people do in a year. Sunday, build your one-page map. The average reader forgets 90% of a book within a week. You're going to retain 90% for a lifetime and get all of it done while the next guy is still on chapter 4 of the first book. That's the power of syntopic aggression. I'll see you in the next one.